Welcome back to Personal Foul. Mike, real quick before we move on to our next segment, I want to do a little throw out some game balls, if you will, some helmet stickers to a couple of guys, players of the game, guys that you thought performed well this week.
The ones I thought that looked really good, Guy Parker had a big game rushing the football. He looked really good. He looked, didn't play last year. He looked really quick.
Coming off of the injury.
Coming off that.
You know how that goes when you have injuries like that, a leg injury especially, it's always scary taking that first hit and that first plant and juke.
But it didn't seem to affect him.
Didn't phase him at all.
He played 110%.
That's
went after it. So.
Well, my first one, I'm going to give it to Blake Burden.
Yeah.
Man, there was some popping going on in that defense.
There was.
He did well offensively. He caught a few passes, but especially for defense, man, he lit up some boys.
He lit up. He had some good hits out there on the corners.
Good hits.
Yep. And then my next one, Colton Ferris. I thought he did a good job of dominating, especially on the, he's on both sides of the ball, offense and defensive line, but I thought on the defensive line, he dominated his side over there and did really well.
My second one is Trey Morris.
Yeah.
Trey Morris, I tell you, once he starts running, he glides like a deer.
He's got some wheels.
He's got some wheels, and he flies.
He does fly.
They got him open. Coach Shoup does a good job of finding different creative ways to get him the ball.
Had a big kickoff return.
Returned it for a touchdown.
That's right. Yeah.
And
hey, he had a good block. He got a good block out there. Who did you say that?
No, Josh Houchins on Trey Morris's one where they kicked it out, and Josh Houchins picked up a huge block. I'll give you a shout out, Josh, for that play right there. But
that's nice.
Anything else high school we need to cover? Was that it?
I think that's it. I think we're good. Hold on. Let's talk real quick. What do you think about the Berry Hill matchup with Cushing this week?
I think, depending on looking at what they had junior high, they didn't have many numbers, but they had some talent on that junior high bunch. And Berry Hill's always kind of they're always tough, and it seems like every sport we play in, they're tough. So I wouldn't expect any less.
They're going to come in here with some athletes, and they gave Glenpool. They put it on Glenpool there in the late.
Glenpool's been good for years. I know they're a little down. Yeah. They're not as good as they have been, but
it'll be a tough game.
It'll definitely be a tough game. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Speaking of junior high, let's go right into junior high.
What did you think? I know you were there for both games. How did they look? 7th and 8th grade.
Well, there's room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Yes. I'm just going to be honest. They played well at times, but you could definitely tell. Listen, junior high, I think it sometimes gets shorted a lot of practice time because of, weather may be bad in the mornings and different. I know how it is coaching junior high baseball. You got school activities. Sometimes they have to come in for testing early in the morning, and they just get shorted some practice time. So hopefully maybe that was the case. Had a lot of stuff going on, and they'll get in there and work out some of the kinks.
Well, one thing about junior high, especially the 7th graders, they've got a new system.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've been running a system probably for 3 years, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Then all of a sudden now you go to the 7th grade and they're going to run what the junior high and the high school run. So it's a new system. So, and like you say, with not a lot of practice time, sometimes it takes a while to get going.
Yeah, and it's just a whole different mindset. You're practicing in the mornings now. You're with a new group of coaches that they're with those youth center coaches for 3 years. I mean, they get used to, like you said, their system and their ways, and sometimes they got to make that adjustment. And as well as the junior high coaches, they got to kind of learn. As well as I do. Not always do we. Hold on, we got to go to a break right now. We'll continue that on our way back.